Right now on KMBC 9 News at 10.
Families waiting for answers.
I want to know why. Why? It's not fair.
After two bodies are found near Longview Lake.
Tonight at 10, we're live with the developments in this investigation.
Will a Missouri driver's license get you past TSA at the airport? What you can do now to avoid a delay on your next trip.
New talk of a pre-K sales tax increase. The push to get it on the November ballot. Why Kansas City schools are saying not so fast.
We had heavier downpours earlier today, and now some of those showers exiting Sedalia. More heavier thunderstorms loom toward tomorrow. We'll give you the timeline coming up.
The probe continues into the discovery of two bodies near Longview Lake. Good evening, everybody. I'm Chris Ketz.
And I'm Laura Moritz. 125th and Raytown Road near the scene is back open tonight. Police are not saying who the victims are, but loved ones of two missing men believe it may be their family members.
Our Brian Johnson is live at the marina where the missing men were supposed to meet someone. Brian?
Yeah, Michael Brewer and his friend Keith Wasmer were supposed to be here at the marina on August 6th. They were set to meet someone, then disappeared. Tonight, Keith's mother says in her heart as a mom, she feels one of the bodies police recovered today was that of her son. As word spread of the discovery of two bodies, more and more family members arrived.
I'm doing so well right now. And he's just not supposed to go before me. He's not supposed to go before me.
Relatives fear it may be the bodies of 29-year-old Michael Brewer and 25-year-old Keith Wasmer.
Ones that suffer the most are the family members because we're so desperate for information.
Keith Wasmer is a father of four, 3 boys and 1 girl, ranging from almost 5 to just 1 month old.
With the baby, he's never going to have a chance to know him.
The two men were last in the area 9 days ago and haven't been seen since. Relatives today said a prayer.
If it is them, then our families can get through this. And if not, then whoever families it is can get through it.
As detectives search and bodies were taken away, the family stayed hoping for answers. But so far, they'll have to wait.
If it is them, there's some sort of closure. If it's not, that's just as painful.
I want more answers. I want to know why. Why? It's not fair. They were too young. They were too young.
And tonight, police have cleared the scene. Raytown Road is back open. The family was waiting there while police were doing their investigative work. They're hoping to perhaps talk to one of the police working the perimeter or some detectives, just hoping to get answers. So far, though, tonight they have none. Live in Kansas City, Brian Johnson, KMBC 9 News.
Updates on this story as we get them right here on KMBC 9 News.
A deadly shooting is under investigation in Kansas City, Kansas. This happened at a gas station near 55th and Leavenworth Road about 6 tonight. 1 man was killed. Police tell our crews they're talking with a person of interest. They're also asking anyone who saw anything to call the TIPS hotline 816-474-TIPS. New court documents show a mother drove her car into the Kansas River to commit suicide, and she told police she brought her 2 children along because she didn't want anyone else to have them. Police say 26-year-old Sharon Dingledine drove a stolen vehicle into the river near Lawrence earlier this month. Her 5-year-old daughter was killed. Her 1-year-old son hurt. She is charged with first-degree murder and attempted murder.
A growing debate on a pre-K sales tax proposal for public schools in all of Kansas City, Missouri. The mayor wants it on the November ballot, but the Kansas City, Missouri School District wants to hold off on that and work more on the plan. The plan calls for a 3/8 cent sales tax to help expand pre-K programs.
So at the end of the day, having more 4-year-olds showing up to a kindergarten in a public school or any school, ready and able to learn, is in the best interest of everyone, including KCPS and the other school districts.
Mayor says he's gathered enough signatures to put the sales tax increase before voters in November. School board members and the superintendent support early childhood expansion, but say this plan leaves too many unanswered questions.
The race for Kansas governor is now down to Secretary of State Chris Kobach, the Republican nominee, Democrat Laura Kelly, a 4-term state senator, and independent Greg Orman, a Johnson County businessman who is still waiting on signature verification in this race. They're all focusing on the big issues, money for education, and if the state needs more tax cuts. But they're working with a short window to convince voters. We are less than 83 days away from Election Day. The 2 candidates for the Missouri Senate seat are talking talking about an issue that's also on the ballot.
Legalizing medical marijuana. Incumbent Democrat Claire McCaskill supports it. Republican Josh Hawley says he's inclined to support it, but wants to make sure there are enough protections to limit it to medical use. There are 3 medical marijuana initiatives on the ballot. Election day is Tuesday, November 6th. We'll stay on top of the races and big issues on both sides of the state line. Your Commitment 2018 coverage is right here on KMBC 9 News. The man who led the investigation into former Missouri Governor Greitens says Greitens was leading a fake charity. In his first broadcast interview since the governor's resignation, State Rep Jay Barnes, Republican of Jefferson City, blasted the Greitens political organization known as A New Missouri.
In Missouri, there's never been any group like A New Missouri. You're talking about federal PACs that exist that deal with multiple candidates. In Missouri, there's never been a fake charity organized like this.
Barnes calls A New Missouri a criminal enterprise from its inception, created to avoid campaign finance limits. First alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Brian Busby.
Brian, fog for the morning drive?
Thinking so. It's probably going to be in small areas close to water. And also, if you had a lot of rain today, you're probably going to be more prone to have those visibilities coming down. Right now, 10s across the board, but as we hit closer and closer to dawn, I think that'll be an issue. As a matter of fact, here's your back to school forecast looking in the morning. Be prepared to keep an eye out for the kids and the fog. 68, afternoon high of 88 degrees with more sunshine. So although we don't see much in the way on First Alert Live radar right now, we will pick up on a good chance of more showers and even stronger thunderstorms. The last batch continuing, that is, to move east of Sedalia right now. But some of these storms by afternoon could be on the heavy to strong side. I think the timeline's toward the evening, so most of your days dry. It'll definitely feel like August. How long that lasts and how strong these storms will get coming up.
These 2 Kansas City men will serve multiple life terms without parole in the kidnapping and murder of a new father. The body of Jamie Patton was found near 136th and Holmes in 2016. He was kidnapped at gunpoint and forced to try to get cash out of ATM machines. A family friend says Patton's wife was in labor at the time when he called, trying to get their debit card PIN number. He was later shot and killed. And the reward for an unsolved homicide in Kansas City, Missouri continues to grow. Crime Stoppers is now offering $25,000 for the right information in the death of 25-year-old Jacob Skoronsky. The body of the MCC Longview student was found in his apartment along View High Drive in Bannister in early February. Call the TIPS hotline if you know what happened, 816-474-TIPS.
A Kansas City, Kansas man is now charged in a big gun theft at a store in Independence. Last Thursday, thieves ripped off the front door of the Armory KC store on 40 Highway and took 64 guns. Investigators found 8 of those guns in Keon Johnson's apartment, along with a notebook detailing how to commit a burglary. An attack on an ATA bus, and it's on video. A 61-year-old man tries to fight back, ending up with a minor concussion after an angry rider begins punching him to the ground. The victim says this all began after he told the other man to stop yelling at the driver.
So I stood up and I said, "Hey," and he charged me. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I called myself trying to kick him in the back, maybe knock him down, but I fell down.
He wants the man on video to be arrested, wants him to pay for his medical bills. If you know who it is, call police.
Missouri is again asking for more time to start issuing real IDs. The new ID cards would put Missouri in compliance with federal rules passed more than a decade ago. KMBC 9's William Joy shows us what's happening now and what you can do.
Anytime you fly or visit a federal building, you use an ID. But in a couple months, Missourians might not be able to.
It'd be a real hassle to have to pull out a passport simply to fly to Minneapolis or somewhere.
Last year, Representative Kevin Corlew wrote the law that allows Missouri to issue the new and more secure real IDs. Federal lawmakers passed the mandate back in 2005, but Missouri says it'll need till March of next year to be compliant, and they're asking for more time.
We knew that when we had kicked the can down the road several years, that when we did come into compliance, it was going to take some time to implement.
If Missouri doesn't get an extension past that October 10th deadline, you'll have to come here to the post office and get a passport. But the problem is that process can take months unless you're willing to pay the extra money to get it done faster.
A post office spokesperson said they've seen a big jump in applications.
We're comfortable that we've done the steps that we need to.
The delay was over privacy concerns. Lawmakers agreed to keep birth certificates and Social Security records offline.
That's to make sure that it's that we keep it as secure as possible to guard against hacking.
The hope is that holdup won't cost them.
Until the Department of Homeland Security actually gives us thumbs up and that we're good. It's hard to say 100%.
William Joy, KMBC 9 News.
Kansas has been compliant for a year, but not all Kansans have a real ID. If you have a star on your license, then it's fine. But if your license says not for federal ID, then you're not. Missourians will have the option to opt out of this program once it begins. And starting today, Kansas license plates are getting a bit of a makeover. It's the same design, but the letters and numbers are flat instead of embossed. The new plates will be delivered to the vehicle homeowner. You'll buy them at the driver's license office, and then they'll come to you in the mail.
Tomorrow is move-in day for UMKC medical students, so be ready for slow traffic through campus. The med students move in from 8 to 2 tomorrow. All other students move in on Friday. And one little boy had a great first day of school thanks to Blue Springs Police.
8-year-old Brecken Simmons rolled up to 3rd grade in the Blue Springs Police Dare Mustang. You may remember Brecken from his lemonade stand benefiting the Blue Springs Police. Well, now they're returning the favor. Officers even let Brecken turn on the lights as they pulled up to James Lewis Elementary.
Coming to school.
Yes, you are.
Coming to school, first day. Let's see if my teacher is as nice as I think she is.
Brecken has been fighting a stage 2 brain tumor. The Blue Springs Police Department says they'll be with him every step of the way in his fight. Looking for a side gig this fall? The local pumpkin patch with a job for you.
Looking for something more permanent? Delta Airlines is hiring. What it takes to become a flight attendant. Plus, new video of a race to save a toddler's life. A father's message to the police officer who performed CPR.
People who's lost everything. They lost everything, and they are even saying it's not your fault.
The support for the couple whose vehicle started a deadly wildfire in Northern California.
And Laura, tomorrow, some of the thunderstorms, the strongest, could produce possible damaging winds or damaging hail. Not looking like a tornado threat from this setup. We'll still give you the timeline, plus exactly which areas within our viewing region could see that coming up.